Good day, Jen. I'm Purni Sidamanathan with metric number 285276. Today, I'm going to present regarding my research method paper, which is the title of Disappearing Student Spending Insights from Malaysian University Living. First, we will look the chapter 1, which is introduction. University students are becoming more aware of the importance of financial literacy, recognizing that financial literacy is very crucial for financial success and avoiding future financial instability and debt in their life. In this research, we emphasize the importance of financial literacy for Malaysian university students by considering factors such as financial knowledge, cultural background, and attitudes towards their spending in money to prevent future financial difficulties. Local students face financial challenges due to the growing cost of living in our country. The average student income is around 539 ringgit 70 cents, with food and accommodation being the most critical cost in their daily life. Despite receiving allowances for study and accommodation, students also struggle to afford basic necessities like food, stationery, transportation, and personal belongings. The increasing cost of living in Malaysia is causing financial strain to students, leading to limited budgets, part-time job necessities, and all calls for relevant authorities to address these financial pressures. Malaysian university students experience a unique financial environment transitioning from reliance to financial independence. This often leads to a lack of financial knowledge and budget management expertise. Understanding students' purchasing pattern is crucial for stakeholders such as colleges, policymakers, and also students. In this proposed research, we focus on factors influencing university students' cost of living in Malaysia. This research was attempt to answer the following research questions. So the main objective of this research is to find out the key factors that affects cost living of university students in Malaysia. And the secondary objective is to find out the policy implications aimed at decreasing the cost of campus living expenses for Malaysian university students. Next, let's look at the empirical studies. Spending is a crucial aspect of financial conduct involving setting aside money for goods or services. Poor spending habits can lead to financial instability. To improve one's quality of life, individual spending planning is essential. Academics have found that poor spenders are lack of self-control and spend constantly. Malaysian university students tend to spend more due to the increased consumer spending. Sound financial management involves acquiring durable goods, avoiding impulsive purchases, shopping, and forgetting to save. The theoretical framework explains regarding five theory, which is life cycle hypothesis, gender identity theory, Keynesian theory, central place theory, and human capital theory. Life cycle hypothesis suggests that age significantly influences an individual's spending pattern, with young people spending more on consumption and mature individuals saving for retirement. Gender identity theory explains that male and female spending patterns are influenced by societal culture. Keynesian theory suggests a direct relationship between income levels and spending, while central place theory suggests that expenditure levels depends on the central commodity availability. In our research, it mainly focused on the human capital theory, which suggests that financial literacy is crucial for post-money spending efficiency. Poor spenders lack of self-control and spend excessively, leading to increased demand. Malaysian university students spend more due to increased consumer spending. Sound financial management leads to a larger allocation of funds for durable goods such as housing and education for investment purposes. Next, let's see on the methodology part. In methodology part, we have used the questionnaire design where we created a Google form to collect the respondents, and our respondents was targeted to the Malaysian university students, and we got around 63 respondents, and it was our number of sample. And the Google form was divided into three sections, where the first section was regarding the respondents' personal information such as their age, gender, and type of city, and the second section of the Google form was to analyze the dependent variable, which is to identify the cost of living in the campus. And the third section was to identify regarding the independent variable, which is the financial literacy, while using the Likert scale. And the sampling design we used in this research is the convenience sampling method, and also stratified among a random sample of university students from many universities. And the variables operationalization table can be seen in this slide, where this table is used to know the questions based on the dependent and also independent variable, which is our dependent variable is the cost of living for students, and the independent variable was regarding the age, income, financial literacy, and the dummy variable, that is the gender and also geographical location, would be active in relation students' cost of living in Malaysia. And we also can see the model specification, where this research adopts multiple linear regression models with ordinary least square, which is the OLS approach, examine factors influencing students of cost of living in Malaysian university. And we can see the SRF in the slide also. And moving toward the research question method table, we consider the sample regression function approaches adequate for answering the first research question, which is the key factors of affecting cost living of university students in Malaysia. However, for the second research question, which is on the policy implication aimed at decreasing the cost of campus living expenses for Malaysian university students, and the suggestions are made based on the research in the summary stat table, it presents the statistical data from 63 university students focusing on good and poor financial literacy. The data is analyzed using demographics and financial factors, cross-tabulating with financial literacy levels. The p-value column indicates statistically significant differences between good and poor financial literacy students, with low p-values indicating significant differences between the two groups. The study reveals that students with low financial literacy spend an average of RM608, slightly less than those with higher financial literacy. Despite the variance in monthly living expenses, the data shows no inequalities and no significant impact of financial literacy on monthly living expenses. All students have basic requirements that must be met regardless of their level of financial literacy. Externalities like rent and food costs may impact these students. Students with moderate financial literacy may make more money than those without much knowledge. Financially knowledgeable students would need to make about RM 1032 more than financially ignorant students. However, um, who would need to make RM 761. However, the p-value is zero and there is no statistically significant difference. This may be due to some students having sufficient financial knowledge, which would enable them to manage their money wisely, find well-paying jobs, or engage in other activities that may help them earn more money each month. This study also examines the expenditure on food and rent among students, revealing no significant differences in finance literacy related to financial matters. For instance, students with a strong financial literacy pay RM 270 more for rent than those with weak financial literacy, indicating that knowledge may not have as much impact on major expenditure decision as need does. However, there is a discrepancy in the amount of money spent on study materials compared to the preceding category of expenses. On average, students with strong financial literacy spend RM 171 ringgit 40 cents more than students with weak financial literacy than those with weak financial literacy. This suggests that students with better understanding of personal finance are less reckless with their money, as they can invest prudently in better learning resources that might improve their performance and financial returns in the future. This summary data also reveals that despite significant differences in age and income, daily costs for university students are often similar. Financial literacy is crucial, but fixed living expenses remain significant in college experiences. It highlights the need to teach financial literacy modules to the younger students to help them make better decisions and achieve higher incomes and better financial well-being. Addressing deficiencies in financial knowledge and abilities can help bridge the gap between inputs and outputs. The second finding in our research is the graphical depiction. The scatter plot graphical depiction of the relationship between average income and average living expense is based on various factors. The graph shows unusual degrees of variation, such as high cost of living of 1,600 for a moderate salary of 2,000 and a low cost of living of 400 for a high income of 3,000. These observations suggest that living expenses are not solely determined by incomes, and other variables may contribute to their higher or lower levels. The graph serves as a legitimate representation of the assumption that higher earnings correlate with higher expenses. Next, the third finding is model estimation. So, according to the M1, which is the Lin model, the study examines the impact of independent variables on the average living cost of university students, focusing on age, average income, financial literacy, gender, and also the geographical location. The baseline living consumption cost is RM 125.8 cents, which is likely due to common expenses like food and shelter. The average monthly income has a significant correlation with living expenses, with a 1% level of significance. Financial literacy is crucial for students to manage their finances effectively, as it reduces living expenses. Older age students are likely to spend more, with a coefficient of 16.599. This may be due to living independently, having other obligations, or seeking more comfortable housing. Colleagues may provide financial aid to older students, such as grants, scholarships, and student loans. Gender dis Gender disparities exist, with female students' average cost of living being less than male students, possibly due to variation in spending habits or lifestyle choices. Rural students' living expenses are lower than urban or suburban students, indicating that living expenses are often cheaper in rural areas. This information is beneficial for university students, as it dispels the notion that tuition at remote institution may be less expensive. Future academic institutions and decision makers should work to make financial management programs more accessible to all students. And according to the M2 model, which is the Lock model, the study examines the impact of various factors on university students like living costs, including age, income, financial literacy, gender, and geographical location too. The results show that perceived communication quality significantly impacts a student's performance, with an average monthly income of 0.433, indicating a 43% rise in living expenses. Financial literacy is also significant, with students with moderate or poor financial literacy using 33% less money for living expenses compared to their peers. This supporting the human capital theory, emphasizing the importance of financial knowledge in managing financial resources. Aging trends shows that students age, the cost of living increases by 0.046%, consistent with the Keynesian theory. Female students has a lower odds of achieving these goals than male students, indicating a need for further research to understand the reasons behind the disparity in expenses. Rural students also has a lower average cost of living compared to urban or suburban students. This study highlights similarities and differences with previous studies, such as the influence of social, environmental, and activity aspects on students' spending patterns, as well as the fact that rising earnings do not necessarily drive demand for products and services. In conclusion, our objective of this study was to find out the key factors that affects the cost living of university students in Malaysia, and to find out what are the policy implications aimed at decreasing the cost of campus living expenses of for Malaysian university students. And the key findings from this research is monthly expenditures recorded by the high or good financial literacy students is high than compared to the low financial literacy students. Respondents of good and low financial literacy are very significantly in terms of spending on food, transportation, study material, and also rent. So what are the existing policy in this issue is Malaysian government ought to concentrate on implementing policies that facilitate student participation in financial literacy programs offered by educational institutions. This can be exampled by the Financial Literacy and Educational Commission in the United States. For example, they offer tools to enhance financial education. This is possible to launch or strengthen their financial literacy in their young age itself. So the limitation of studies in our research is the sample size, where we got only 63 respondents. We might and enlarge our respondents to a lot of university students, not like postgraduate, undergraduate, part-time students, and so on. And the future recommendation from this research paper is we can investigate the fundamental causes of the low financial literacy of students in Malaysian universities in the future studies. Thank you.